Hey everyone, so gonna set up an automation today that is using the Google Sheet new row trigger. And when this trigger fires, we're gonna go look up this username on Instagram. We're gonna scrape the post count, its bio, the follower count, and the following count. And then we're gonna use the app steps to find and update that row in our Google Sheet. So first step, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start a blank automation with Instagram.com. That way I can add my cookies to it to automatically log in. So just really quick, let's go ahead and save this really quick. And then I'm gonna go grab my cookies. So I just opened Instagram really quick. We can click on the cookie icon right here and then the export icon. Go back into TaskMagic, click these three dots, add cookies, and paste those cookies. So again, just our auto login. Instead of us having to record the type step. Obviously, can record the type step route as well. Either method is going to work for you. So back to recording. Now that this is going to automatically log us into Instagram, we're going to build the rest of the flow. So this first URL right here, instead of us going to Instagram, there's no real point. What we can do, like just going to Instagram.com, what we can do instead is go directly to that person's profile. So you'll see, for example, if I click on Jordan Peterson's profile, you'll see the username is in the URL. So it goes something like Instagram.com/username. So what we will do is change this go to page step so that it's going to use that value from our Google Sheet when we set that up. So we'll come back to that step after. What we need to do now is we can scrape all of the values we want. So I'm going to click plus, scrape, and then single. And then let's get their name, confirm, scrape, and get their, I think it was the post count is next. Let me see. Oh, I mixed it up already. Wow, I really mixed it up. Okay. Wow, I didn't think I did that bad. Okay, 1 second, we can fix this. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna get the name, the post count, and the bio. So let me open Chromium back up, scrape single, and let's just get like this general bio area, I guess would be this part. Yeah, I guess this part would be considered the bio. And then let's get the follower count. And let's get the following count. I think that was everything. We might have missed them. If we missed anything, we'll just add another step when we actually make this an automation. So that's it. All it does is go to a profile, scrape something, scrape a bunch of stuff, and then it is done. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to set up the actual connection to the Google Sheet. So let's do that. I'll go ahead and click Setup Trigger, and then let's look for Google Sheets. And then we are going to select New Row as our trigger. We'll go ahead and connect our app. If you haven't done this, it's just a sign in with Google thing. And then I don't remember what I was doing here. It's Instagram data. That is our spreadsheet. Whoops, that's our spreadsheet. And select the worksheet. Max number to pull. So this is going to depend on the number of rows you have in your Google Sheet. You'll pretty much want this to be more than how many ever rows you have. So I'll just do 50 in this case because that's plenty. If you have like 1,000 rows, you can make this 2,000, 3,000, whatever you want to do. Whatever you can do there. So we'll go ahead and click Test App. And then I'm going to go and add a new record to my Google Sheet. So I'll just go ahead and repaste the Jeremy Redmond, and then we can click check for new data to see those records. So it might take up to 5 minutes for that to arrive. So I'll unpause this once that gets here, just because I'm not sure how long it's going to take right this second. But once that's here, we're going to select our data and keep building. Okay, we're back. So I added another record of your V1. I kind of went back and forth and cleared my sheet because I didn't want those old things here. So here is what we have. Whoops. Okay. So empty Google Sheet. I have your V1 as the latest record, which is what this trigger has. We're going to update our go to page step to have Instagram.com/@values.a because this is replacing what is ever in the Google Sheet with this URL, or at the end of this URL. Then we want to scrape, scrape, scrape. Everything there is fine. And then we want to use the apps action to look up what row we want to edit once this loads for me. Nice. There we go. Google Sheets. And then we want to find rows. The connection is the same as what we had for triggers. Our spreadsheet is going to be the same one, which is Instagram data. And then we have our sheet here, which is username tracking. We want to search in the usernames column. And we're having an exact match for whatever was entered at the very beginning. So what we're looking to do is find out exactly which row was edited, so that, or the new row that was added, by using this find step. I think that the Google Sheet trigger, it actually gives you the row that it was, so you can just use that same exact row instead. This could just be row, but if you're not using the Google Sheets trigger, you're going to need to use a lookup value like what came in to find that. So I'll just continue that way. And then the starting row is, let's say 2, and we want to search 500 rows at a time, whatever we want it to be. I'll go ahead and click Test App, but this isn't going to find anything because nothing is values A. Let me do a search like this so that we can get something. So this is returning the row that we want to edit and the values that are there. So I'll change this back to using a variable, and then let's add a Google Sheets update step, the update row, same thing here, newest app. Spreadsheet is going to be the same one we're working in, which is Instagram data. And then we have username tracking. The row number is going to be, we could use the row that came in from our trigger, or we can use what came from our find step. I'm using this since if you're using any other trigger besides the Google Sheet, you're not going to have this row the same way you would. Then the first row is headers, which is what we need, and we get to put all of our information back in. So usernames is what we had at the beginning. Post count is going to be, I don't remember, I think step 3. Bios, let's say step 4. Follower count, step 5. And step 6. So these are going to be our steps for updating this Google Sheet. What we can do is we can quickly, let me actually leave this as your V1 and do this as like a row. I'll do row 4 so you guys can see this. When we click test app here, what this is going to do is put all of those values in the Google Sheet. Now, because this automation hasn't ran, these aren't going to have any value, so it's going to put just the at step 3, at step 4, at step 5, things like that. But you can see how this is going to handle updating our Google Sheet. So that is all we need to do. I think I changed everything back to what it should be. Nope, this needs to be that, and that needs to be that. Now we're good. So we can go ahead and run this and see how it works. So when we run this, it's going to use the data from our Google Sheet that we selected, which is going to be the your V1 header here. And it's going to go to that page, scrape some stuff, and then update our Google Sheet. Again, this would be triggering automatically if we turned this on, but because we're running it from desktop, it's using the data that we set it up to run with. All right, let's go ahead and click play steps, because the last time I tried, I got a phone call which cut all my audio. So this is going to start at instagram.com/yourv1 and scrape all of our details. So I think I mismapped things. I don't think I grabbed what I said I was going to grab with post count and bio in order. But you can obviously scrape and do with that however you wish regarding whatever information you actually want to scrape. So we'll see this here. It grabbed all this data, and then it is going to, it already did update that Google Sheet. So again, what it's doing is going to this page, scraping a bunch of stuff, looking up the Google Sheet, and updating, looking up which row we're working in, and then updating that row with all of the scrape data.